Hello everyone. So this week we are starting our new writing and reading unit. So this unit is focusing on family stories. So you will be writing and reading your own and new family stories. So when we're talking about family stories, this week we're going to be focusing on characters. So let's get started. So we have characters or personajes, and characters are who is the story about, who is in the story, and who is it about. So I have some examples here. We know these guys. We have Elephant and Piggy. This little girl here, her name is Grace, and that's her book. It's called Amazing Grace. This story is The Lizard in the Sun, La Lagartija y el Sol. So for this story, it's about a lizard and the sun. So those are the characters. And then this one is, we have this big red dog. His name is Clifford, and his owner, Emily Elizabeth, and he has two friends here. So those are all different examples of characters. So characters can be people, like Moana. Characters can be animals, like Pigeon here. Characters can also sometimes be objects, like this guy over here. That's Carpet from Aladdin. But he walks around sometimes and stands up like that. He also flies. So he acts a lot like a person. Sometimes they don't. Another example is like Beauty and the Beast. You have Mrs. Potts, who's a teapot, and then you have Chip, who's a teacup. You have the candlestick, Lumiere, and Cogsworth, the clock. So depending on the story, the characters can be people, animals, objects, and sometimes a mixture of all of them. So we're going to talk about two different types of characters. The first type of character are the main characters, and this is the most important character in the story. The story would not happen or exist without this person or animal or object. They're usually the hero, and they're also usually the one with the problem in the story. Remember how before, at the beginning of the year, we talked about the problem and the solution? So the main character is usually the one with the problem. So main character is protagonista. So an example here is we have a picture from the movie of Ralph Breaks the Internet. And so in the middle here we have Vanellope. So Vanellope would be one of the main characters as well as Ralph. Because if you take them out of the movie, it wouldn't have happened. All of these princesses are also in this movie, but they're only in this little part of the movie. The whole thing isn't about them. So the main character is most important and usually the hero. So when we describe characters, we can think about what they like to do. Ooh, how come I'm not writing? Here we go. What they like, what they dislike. Maybe the way they talk. In our story that we'll be reading, language is very important between the two characters. How they think and how they feel. And then you can talk about actions, like things they do or say, some of the choices they make, their expressions, or their body language. So let's practice here with our friend Pigeon. I have a page from a book, one of our Pigeon books. And let's take a minute and really look at this picture and think about how Pigeon looks and what he's doing. So I'm looking at Pigeon, and I see he's moving around a lot. This one, he looks like he's jumping up and down. He's laying down. His arms are going. His wings are flapping all over the place. I'm also seeing that his beak is open all the time. And there's some lines coming out. And his eyes got really big. And it looks like he's yelling. It looks like he might be frustrated or mad, like he's yelling because he's mad. So, describing a character is just telling about them. What they look like, what they're doing, how they feel. So here's some more examples. You can say like how old they are, if they're a boy or a girl, their race, their nationality, their class, you can talk about their family, their childhood, culture, community, physical characteristics of what they look like, maybe the clothing, equipment, and style that they have. So those are all different ways of describing characters. So you can say, like in the book that we're going to read, it's about a family. There's a little girl, and it's about her grandma, and they speak 2 different languages. So for that book, that is very important to describe the characters because they aren't able to communicate, which is one of the problems in the story. The second type of character is called the supporting characters, personajes secundarios. They are just additional characters in the story. So I have some examples here for us. I have Timon and Pumbaa here from The Lion King. They help take care of Simba the lion in the movie, so they are important, but the whole movie isn't about them. I also have Flounder here from The Little Mermaid. He's friends with Ariel and helps her, but the whole movie is not about Flounder. He's in it, but it's not all about him. And the last picture I have here is of Jack and Gus from Cinderella. Again, they help Cinderella in the movie. However, the movie is not about them. They do help, but the whole movie is not about them. So here's some more examples of supporting characters. We have villains. They are usually important to the story, but again, the whole thing isn't about them. Usually. Sometimes it is. We have Heihei and Puaa from Moana. Again, they're friends with Moana, and they are with her, but the whole movie isn't about them. We have Rapunzel's best friend, Pascal, and we also have the princes from some of the princess movies. So like I said, they could be villains, sidekicks, best friends, a love interest, a mentor or a coach. Sometimes it can be a parent. Sometimes the parents are in the story and the whole story is about them. Or it could be a narrator. So supporting characters are important, but the whole story is not focused on them. So now your job. Your job is to go to the next video, watch the book, Mango, Abuela, and Me, and you're going to answer some questions. I have posted the questions in the message and on the website. However, I will also tell you them right now. So the questions are, who are the main characters and who are the supporting characters? And you can just list them in your notebook and draw the picture of them.